that cold, red, dusty planet sitting 140 million miles away from Earth. At first glance, it doesn't exactly scream paradise. No breathable air, no liquid water on the surface, freezing temperatures, and radiation levels that could give you a serious case of regret. So, why are we so obsessed with it? Why do scientists, engineers, entrepreneurs, and dreamers around the world want to send humans to Mars? And not just visit, but live there? The answer is simple yet profound. Mars represents hope. Hope for humanity's survival. Hope for scientific discovery. Hope for pushing the limits of what we thought was possible. It's not just about planting a flag or taking selfies on another planet. It's about proving that we can adapt, innovate, and thrive in the face of unimaginable challenges. Mars isn't just a destination, it's a symbol of our unyielding spirit to explore, create, and endure. In this article, we'll dive into why people want to go to Mars, how they plan to get there, what research will be done once we arrive, and how much it'll cost. By the end, you'll understand why Mars is more than just a distant rock. It's the next chapter in the story of humanity. Why Mars? A planet full of possibilities. 1. A backup plan for humanity. Earth is amazing, don't get me wrong, but it's also fragile. Climate change, overpopulation, pandemics, and resource depletion are real threats. What happens if things go south here? Having a second home on Mars ensures the survival of our species. Think of it as an insurance policy for humanity. Sure, it's expensive, but isn't peace of mind worth it? 2. Unlocking the secrets of life. Did life ever exist on Mars? Could it still exist today? These questions keep scientists up at night. Mars has ancient riverbeds, polar ice caps, and evidence of volcanic activity, all signs that it may have once been habitable. Finding even microbial life would revolutionize our understanding of biology, evolution, and the potential for life beyond Earth. Imagine being part of the team that discovers the first extraterrestrial fossil. That's legacy-level stuff right there. 3. Inspiring innovation. Getting to Mars requires solving some of the toughest problems imaginable. How to grow food in zero gravity, how to protect astronauts from radiation, how to build sustainable habitats using local resources. The technologies developed for Mars missions won't just benefit space travel, they'll improve life on Earth too. From cleaner energy solutions to better medical devices, the ripple effects of Mars exploration will touch every corner of society. Alright, let's get practical. How do we actually plan to send humans to Mars? This isn't science fiction anymore, it's science fact, and here's how it's shaping up. Step 1. Building the right spacecraft. SpaceX's Starship, Elon Musk's brainchild, Starship, is designed to carry up to 100 people to Mars. Its fully reusable design aims to slash costs dramatically. Picture a rocket that lands itself back on Earth after launch, ready to fly again. Revolutionary. NASA's Orion capsule. Part of NASA's Artemis program, Orion is paving the way for deep space missions. While its primary focus is returning humans to the moon, everything learned there will directly apply to Mars. Step 2. Surviving the journey. Traveling to Mars takes about 6 to 9 months, depending on orbital alignment. During that time, astronauts face radiation exposure, cosmic rays, and solar flares are no joke. Engineers are working on advanced shielding materials and possibly underground living quarters to protect crews. Microgravity effects. Prolonged weightlessness weakens muscles and bones. Solutions include exercise routines and artificial gravity concepts. Think spinning spacecraft. Step 3. Landing safely. Landing on Mars is one of the hardest parts. Unlike Earth, Mars has a thin atmosphere, which means parachutes alone won't slow down heavy payloads. Scientists are experimenting with supersonic parachutes, retro rockets, and inflatable heat shields to ensure safe landings. Once on Mars, sustainability is key. Astronauts won't be able to rely on constant resupply missions from Earth. Instead, they'll use in-situ resource utilization, a fancy term for living off the land. For example, extracting oxygen from carbon dioxide in the Martian atmosphere, mining water ice for drinking, farming, and fuel production, and growing crops in greenhouses using Martian soil after removing toxins, of course. When humans finally set foot on Mars, the work begins. Here's what researchers plan to tackle. First, searching for signs of life. This is the big one. Was Mars ever alive? Instruments like Perseverance rover are already searching for biosignatures, chemical traces of past life in Martian rocks. Future human missions will dig deeper, literally and figuratively, drilling into the subsurface where microbes might still survive. Second, understanding Mars's climate history. By studying Mars's geology, atmosphere, and weather patterns, scientists hope to piece together its history. Did it lose its magnetic field? Why did its rivers dry up? Answering these questions helps us understand planetary evolution and maybe prevent Earth from meeting a similar fate. Third, testing long-term survival tech. Living on Mars means mastering closed-loop systems, recycling air, water, and waste efficiently. These innovations will not only help colonists survive, but also address environmental challenges back on Earth. Fourth, preparing for terraforming. While terraforming Mars, making it Earth-like, is still far-fetched, early experiments could lay the groundwork. Ideas include releasing greenhouse gases to warm the planet, or introducing hardy plants to stabilize the soil. It's a long shot, but hey, so was landing on the moon in the 1960s. Here's the elephant in the room. Going to Mars isn't cheap. Estimates vary wildly depending on who you ask. NASA's estimate: sending the first humans to Mars could cost between $200 billion and $500 billion over several decades. SpaceX's vision: Elon Musk believes SpaceX can achieve crewed Mars missions for around $10 billion, thanks to reusable rockets and private funding. Per-person costs: early missions might cost $6 billion per astronaut, though economies of scale could bring that number down significantly. Where will the money come from? Governments, private companies, international collaborations, and public-private partnerships will all play a role. And while the upfront costs are staggering, the long-term benefits, scientific breakthroughs, technological spin-offs, and ensuring humanity's survival are priceless. So when does the adventure begin? Here's a realistic timeline. Short-term goals spanning from the 2020s to the 2030s. Robotic missions rovers like Perseverance and upcoming sample return missions will gather critical data. Moon practice. NASA's Artemis missions aim to return humans to the moon by the late 2020s, serving as a testing ground for Mars tech. Moving on to midterm goals, from the 2030s to the 2040s. First crewed mission. If all goes well, humans could land on Mars in the late 2030s or early 2040s. Initial settlements, small habitats will support scientific research and resource utilization. And finally, long-term goals, from the 2050s and beyond. Self-sustaining colonies, larger settlements capable of supporting hundreds or thousands of people could emerge. Terraforming possibilities. While speculative, future generations might transform Mars into a livable world. Mars isn't just a planet, it's a mirror reflecting our greatest ambitions and deepest fears. It reminds us of what we stand to lose if we don't take care of Earth, but also what we stand to gain if we dare to reach further than ever before. Yes, the journey to Mars will be hard. Yes, it will require sacrifices, ingenuity, and collaboration on a global scale. But isn't that what makes it so inspiring? Every challenge overcome brings us closer to becoming a multi-planetary species, a civilization capable of thriving anywhere in the universe. So here's my challenge to you. What role will you play in this grand adventure? Maybe you'll become a scientist designing life support systems, an engineer building the next generation of rockets, or simply someone who supports and advocates for space exploration. Whatever it is, remember this: Mars isn't just for astronauts, it's for all of us. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Would you want to go to Mars? What excites or scares you most about the idea of living on another planet? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. Until next time, keep dreaming big, stay curious, and never stop reaching for the stars.